Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight is it Stock Market Mem because that's what it's acting like. It is winning at your expense. That means you, ladies and gentlemen, you should have a smile on your face with all this volatility and opportunities. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it.
Come on, come on.
I'm on mute after all this time. DIM pals, thank you so much for mentioning this. I've done this 2 times in the last week. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And as you guys already know and have saw, DIM pals and outstanding investors in the house. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. I'll go over it again. Good evening is his simple tagline. And he brings the other crypto gonna take off soon. And once again, I was going over crypto. You guys have seen this before. It was at 125, 126. It went all the way down into the 70s. What are you waiting on at this point? You had an opportunity, if you were in crypto, to bring your dollar cost average down if you purchased at 120, 110, 105, 79 even. Dollar cost average could be reduced. You should have been on it. You should be on it because remember, crypto actually behaves a certain way. I believe sometime this year, it will surpass its 125 status. So that would almost be about a 40, 50, yeah, pretty much a 50% increase from where it is about. Well, I don't know where it ended today, but I know it was in the 70s. And guess what? I was buying. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm like, is this for real right now? I can't believe it. I think it was 76 when I got it. And that was actually yesterday, by the way. So I don't know what it went up to today. I saw 76 and I was like, what? Hold on. Okay, let's get some more. Yum, yum, yum. That's right. So thank you so much. You're right. I agree with this 110%. And thank you for that note because I've done this twice in the last week where I've had it on mute and nothing's been coming out and I've been ranting and raving for 10 to 15 minutes. But once again, please share the videos, ladies and gentlemen, because you never know who's looking for this information and who's not looking for the info, but they need to know. So let's start the first things first. You can buy crypto several different ways. Put it in your own wallet. If you do not leave it on central exchanges. They do get hacked. Their information is public oftentimes. So it's just a matter of time before it gets hacked. And it could be you that they take the funds from. And is there really any recourse? Is the government going to be able to track these people down and take it back? Long gone, ladies and gentlemen. That fantasy that they have. The only way they can take it back is because if you're on a central exchange, they know who you are. That's the only reason. But when you hack into it, they don't know who the hackers are. So that's why I always say make sure you have all of your assets at your disposal. Do not rely on government regulated places. Just saying. All right. Now, stock market meme is acting like a crypto coin meme. All they had to do today was say there's a deal with India. And I'm sitting there going, this is fascinating. South Korea markets pop. The United States has a little pop. So the funny part is, if you were doing stock market trading, you can take advantage of this because going up or going down, you can actually make money. And it's acting like a meme coin. News that means nothing. Just because somebody says that we made a deal, all of a sudden it's like, well, they don't even know what the deal is. And they're acting like this is a good thing. And I'm sitting there like, is it better than the one we had like 7, 8, 9 years ago? Or is this some iteration of some new stuff that's nonsensical? But the market's reacted. Volatility, up, down, up, down. You gotta love it because you have opportunity based on the news. DIM pals, let me know what you think about this news cycle where there's talk and then there's activity regardless of the financials, regardless of if there's really anything going on. Just an announcement that India and USA has reached a deal made the Asian markets go higher, made the stock market go higher. I'm sitting there like, you guys do know normally what that means. Usually means there really is no deal. There's a concept of a deal. So this is so funny to watch. And all it took for Palantir to pop was say, hey, our fourth quarter, it beat the estimates. And it's AI. And of course, they get a little boom too. You got to love this, ladies and gentlemen. And how about them gold and silver prices? Yes, the banks, the wealthy, they got their revenge. It came back down, both of them. That's why I always say a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. I know there was people out there buying, but let's get into that too, because again, gold and silver is being treated like a meme right now. It is funny to watch. The reason why I say it's funny, it's really sad, but it's kind of funny because this is one of the reasons why I always say a little bit of gold and silver is because when it went up to gold, went up to what, 5,000, 5,400, all that, the silver stackers or gold stackers, they were all like, oh my God, it's time for me to sell. Guess what happened? After, who's there? Where can they go get the money? Coin shops, right? But how many coin shops are going to be able to take in tens, 20s, 100, 300 ounces at 5 grand piece, 5,400, 5,500? And are they willing to pay thinking after they do buy it, it could go back down? Well, guess what they thought? They thought exactly what happened. They said, man, I can't buy it 5 Gs, 5,400, 5,300, because I think it's going to go back down and I don't have any more money. I've been giving people on the way up, I've been buying. Sure, some people come sell, but most people were trying to off when it hit that 53, 54, 55. They said, hold up, I don't have no more money. I'm not buying. Now the people are like, well, wait, uh, I, this is like what I was waiting for. Nope, can't get it bought. Now they're holding on to it. And then when I know what happened when they saw it go 53, 51, 5 grand, 4,900, 48. I'm like, all these people are just like, are you kidding me? And they can't offload it. This is the same thing that I kept warning people about every time that the ordinary citizens have a chance to beat the market. You don't have the liquidity with gold and silver because you have to carry it around, the physical. That is one of the inherent problems. People are thinking, I'm holding this based on inflation. This is true. It's based on inflation. But it doesn't buy you anything more than what you could have bought anyhow, is the point, because it only buys what you were able to buy at the time. So, you know, it's kind of weird how that goes, but that's what it's designed for. So if I bought, let's say, $100 worth now, whatever I could buy for $100, I could 10 years from now, I should be able to buy the same thing. So it goes up in value based on inflation. But that doesn't mean you get ahead. That's the point. So now people are finding out in real time when they can't sell, the dealers are saying, well, I'm not buying. I've bought as much as I can buy. And now I can't sell because everybody wants to sell. And now if it goes down, which is what happened, imagine all those gold and silver stacker dealers, the coin dealers that bought at the high numbers. And now they're sitting there with a 20, almost 15 to 20% price point below what they bought them for. Yikes. And it's being manipulated. Oh my God, I don't believe this. On CNBC News, how silver market has morphed into meme trading. Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't even see this, ladies and gentlemen. They're talking like I'm talking on CNBC.com. This is what I said. I was like, this is a meme. The metals price action is drawing growing comparisons to meme stocks such as GameStop. Oh my, this is funny as hell. Oh my, here, let me put this in the chat room for you guys. Oh my God. I didn't even read anything today. I was like sitting here like, this is acting just like meme coins out here. As soon as I only saw the Trump announcement, and then I saw markets in Asia, around the world, moving up because of the announcement between the trade deal with India and America. And I'm like, oh, this is funny. This is funny. Right. It's pure manipulation. Exactly. You know why it is. And in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen, I've been serious, but this is the real deal. The banks don't have the gold and silver. They were having people call up saying, I want my physical gold and silver. I don't want you holding it anymore. And they were like, oh, no, 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 no. Hold on, man. You got to hold on. We're having a bunch of people. You just chill out. We'll get you delivered in a little bit. So these guys went on the offensive. And speaking of manipulation, they forced it down. I don't know how they did it yet because I haven't really studied what the effects, the cause and effects were. But these guys went to work. Give them, I mean, I shouldn't really give them credit like it, but it's a bad thing. No free market, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost like the game is rigged, just like if you went to the casinos in Las Vegas. That's what it's like, or any casino nowadays in America, around the world. The games are rigged. All right. Same thing here. All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Post retirement travel. Welcome. Another investors in the house to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Very simple. The investor does it simply. Hello, all. Let's do this. That's what we do out here. We try to give you guys information. And I'm going to put this link in the chat room too. So I'm very happy to see you once again. And by the way, I humbly appreciate you being a member of the channel. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for your support over all these years. Also, say hello to the familia, the wife as well. All right, man. Let's go. Here it is in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the link. Oh my. Oh my. I just thought this was hilarious today. Volatility galore. Did you guys check out all of the different? I had some charts up today, but did you check all the different charts? They were just like up, down. And I mean, not like a choppy, like they were gathering together, going together. It was like up, down, up, down. I mean, it must have been one hell of a great day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dividends in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline, Happy Day, Eric. I hope all is well with you and your family. Thank you so much. Yes, it is. Thank you. It's going. Much appreciated. Happy day, SSN family. That's right. Showing some love. Make sure you give it the one piece. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now, let me put that. I think I already did. Yeah, but I got to put it in there again. In case you're watching this on replay or delayed and you can't see the live chat on your mobile device, I don't know if it happens on laptops or desktops, but you can always hit the first comment on your mobile under the live stream and then swipe left until you see a message that says, if you want to look at live chat, then hit the live chat. This is on replay. All right. Just so everybody understands, make it nice and simple. But I find this very, very hilarious. They're saying the same thing. Silver's rapid surge, equally dramatic reversal in recent weeks has led market watchers to ask a fundamental question. When does an asset stop trading on fundamentals and start behaving like a meme? It behaved like a meme. It was very simple because it went from 40 to 50 to 70 to 85, sat around there in the 80s, and then all of a sudden 90, 100, 110, 115 in a short amount of time. So just like crypto and just like anything else, when prices start rising, all of a sudden everybody wants to get in. More people want to get in. Plus, the people that have already made money want to buy more because, just like at a casino, you think the winning is going to be indefinite. And just like a casino, they pull the stop and says, you guys know what I mean. When the pit boss comes around, hey, how you doing? Looks like you're winning tonight. How about us getting you guys some rooms and some meals? And we're going to change the dealers right now. So then they go in their whole remake of the situation, new dealers, new cards, new balls, new whatever. And then you're feeling like, oh, yeah, all right, they're treating me nice. And the next thing you know, them new balls or those new dealers or those new dice and all that stuff, it starts going sideways. Same type of thing here, ladies and gentlemen. While you were sitting there thinking everything is going well, they were figuring out a way to short on the backside. I don't know how they did it, like I said, but they're basically, they realized what actually started happening is that there was nobody to sell the gold and silver to after the coin shops were maxed. The government wasn't sitting there going, "Oh yeah, we're going to give you $5,500 per ounce. We're buying it. Bring it on down." You can forget that. They weren't saying, "Bring that silver down for 115. We're going to buy it." Nope. In fact, they were just like, we're not gonna make any more silver coins for a little while." Think about that. That is funny stuff right there. That is funny stuff. Individual investors on January 6th poured about 171 million net into the iShares silver. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Just in one ETF. Wow. That was almost double the previous peak recorded during the silver squeeze of 2021. Spot silver prices advanced almost 4% per ounce on Tuesday. That's gold, actually. But gold is at 48.52. Can you imagine? That's like a $700 decrease in like 2 days. Jiminy Christmas. Hey, but it was good for those guys that can trade. That's right. If you can trade, you were good on the way up, you were good on the way down. Winning twice. That's why I have winning in the title, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that we've been talking about lately because we knew the volatility is going to happen. We knew all of this is going to happen. And that's why we started the countdown 3 years ago. There was only one way this was going to be corrected. And the one way got voted out to avoid this. And unfortunately for Americans, US citizens, residents of USA, prices are going to go higher. And you better make sure that you're invested into some assets instead of liabilities. Now, something came across my desk. There's a credit company that's backed by Ally, and their name is Oyo or Olo. And I could not believe that you can have I don't even know what they're saying because I've never heard of this. 400 and something credit score potentially, and they're going to give you a credit card, and it could be 400, 500, 600, 700, whatever, 800. But the point I'm trying to make is they're actually giving people on the low credit score a credit card. You knew this was going to start happening, right? Remember, I told you they have run out of customers. Where are you going to get customers from? You either have to reduce the credit score or you have to give better deals to people with higher credit scores. So in this case, these guys went rogue. Again, Ally Bank is behind this. You know what these guys are doing? How about 0% interest for 9 months for the bad credit people? Can you believe this? This is a new low. And guess what the interest rate will be afterwards? It's going to be somewhere around 25% annually. But they're going to get your business because I didn't even know Ally Bank. I don't even know who Ally Bank really is. I know there's an Ally. think there's Ally Mortgage, Ally Auto, maybe even Ally Insurance, but they're into this now. Is that crazy or what? People with bad credit can get 0% for 9 months. So I'm just saying this because I know 8 out of 10 people are living paycheck to paycheck and leaning on their credit cards. I just spoke with somebody just last night. I was making a deal with them for vacation rentals, and they just sent me a message today because they had to pay their maintenance fees. So since it's timeshare, so when they had to pay their maintenance fees went up about 10 to 15% from last year. And so now the points that we used earlier was from last year brought forward. Now the points cost more, and they sent me a message talking about, well, I gotta, if we're gonna do anything, I gotta charge you more. I was like, that's funny. That's funny. I said, of course, I expected this. I said because I know exactly this is where we are right now. Insurance prices are more, property taxes more. There is no way they can keep it within a 5 to 10% increase. There's no way. And sure enough, that's what happened. But then the person said the inevitable. In order for me to pay my maintenance fees, I had to use a credit card. And I'm sitting there like, man. So now there's an interest that's going to be charged on the credit card. So if you owe, let's say it's 3 grand, you owe 3 grand. But if your interest is like norm 19, 25, 30, whatever, annually, then that means you're going to be paying another like $700 in 1 year, like 60, $70 a month. That's crazy. On top. So now you guys, hopefully you understand from this little story I'm telling you why I was saying you need that 775 credit score by December 31st, 2026, because the 0% is going to be your saving grace if you are running paycheck to paycheck. Because that way you won't have a liability. Like this person here, if they would have figured out long ago that they needed a higher score so they could get the 0% for 24 months right now, then they would have had that card ready to go and put everything on there at zero for 2 years. And now you wouldn't have had to incur this extra six, seven, $800 for this year. Never mind next year, because you're compounding now, right? You're going to still be charging whatever your balance is that you didn't pay off. So uh, just think about 2 years. It could cost you $1,200. That's what's on top of the 3 grand. So you're at 4,200. Now do you understand why they're detrimental? And that's why I need you guys to understand the 0% offers that are out here now. You need to have the credit. Not you can get the 24 and all that for. You don't need a 750 or nothing. You just need a 720. I don't even think you need a 7. You probably need a 680 or something, and you can get a 0% for 24 months. But like I'm saying, I want you guys to have the elite, the best. When they come out, you got to be the first ones to jump, because everybody's going to be trying to run over there. So, but they're gonna probably only take people with a 775 up, 785 up, low risk people, because that's 3 years. Think about it, 3 years. And also the Oyo thing. Can you believe they have no annual fee? I know. So this is like almost a perfect thing for low credit scores, except one problem. They know what they're doing, because they know that the people with the lower credit score don't manage their expenses well. That's why the score is low. So they know at the end of 9 months, the bulk of that's going to turn into 25%. One fourth of whatever that the amount of money on there is what they're going to add on over time is going to be added on. And they know people aren't going to pay them off because they're living paycheck to paycheck. So they're just going to pay the men or a little bit above men. And once again, you should be trying to pay them off every month. And some people would say, well, I can't pay it off every month. Well, let's just get some to financial situations here. If you cannot, here's the thing then. You should probably be using the card, and instead of using debit and a credit card, you should probably use your credit card. And then for every time you charge, then you would normally pay, right? So you just pay as soon as you come home or the next day. It doesn't really matter. You just keep paying it out so you have the card. And then as long as you pay more than you paid last month, then you're not going to be charging any new interest. Just saying. Okay. That's one way to do it. All right. Let's go. I don't have a link, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have a link for the Oyo guys. All right. Just saying. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I said, did they just say 0% for 9 months for people that have a 4, 5, 600 credit score? I was like, this is funny. I said, I like it though. I mean, that could help people. That could help a lot of people right now. Just saying. But again, it is what it is. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. So be very careful out here. All right, let's go. We got more to talk about because Brian P's here. You know what this means, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, let me find it. We have another recall scenario. Oh man, don't tell me I don't have it. Where is it? Another recall scenario. I had it up in queue and I can't find it now. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. Thousands of cholesterol drug bottles recalled nationwide over defects. Can you believe this? I'm just going to put it down here because there's a lot of people that have cholesterol problems. All right. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure your health is wealth does matter because this meme coin situation, the economy situation is stressing people out. That increases a problem with your system. You're a robot, ladies and gentlemen, in the flesh. You're short circuiting when you have stressful situations. That's why everybody reacts differently under stress. Not everybody can act the same because their body is going through sending signals all over, and how you manage that is different depending on who you are. And stress kills. You guys know that, right? So the less stress you have, longer life you'll have. All right? Just keep that in mind. So you got to figure out how to manage that. So when there's a cholesterol situation, bottles are messed up. This is major. This is serious. Let me go. I put it in the chat room for everybody. Let's see what we're talking about. Thousands of, okay. Zydus Pharmaceuticals, AFCAR have recalled their respective medications over manufacturing and quality issues that could impact the drug's potency. What? Wow. They're talking about 22,896 bottles of icosapent ethyl capsules. The medication manufactured by Softgel Healthcare and distributed in 120 count bottles was classified as a subpotent drug. Oh my. Federal officials warned that oxidation caused by leaking capsules reduced the drug strength. Wow. Okay, Afcar also recalled thousands of bottles, and that's called rosuvastatin. Oh, no, that's a statin drug. Rosuvastatin tablets packaged in 50 tablet unit dose cartons, according to a separate notice. The medicine, according to federal officials, doesn't dissolve the way it's supposed to once you take it. Are we serious right now? Are we serious right now? Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep saying it till the December 31st, 2026. Health is wealth. If you don't understand what is going on, this right here When things don't dissolve and you're putting it in your system, that is a problem, could be a problem. FDA classified both recalls as class 2. This means the product involved in the recall might cause temporary, medically reversible health problems. Serious consequences are also considered remote. Okay, again, I don't know what they're saying because anytime there's a situation, it's your body. Not everybody's body reacts the same. This could kill people. Okay? If one or two, I mean, we're talking about people are not even aware of this recall. This is why I figured stop struggling now, ladies and gentlemen. I figured we always had to go over some recalls because most of where you're going to get there's no PSA. There's no text coming to your phones or your laptops or your tablets. There's nobody out there waving on the TV saying, "Hey, there's a new recall," and it's like a blur on the screen. Recall. Whoever's taking this roses, what do they call that? Let me go see again. Here, this is it right here. This right here doesn't dissolve. What the? Are we serious right now? What is that? And they're acting all cavalier. Here it is right here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the name. They're acting all cavalier. Do you understand how long your stomach is? So if you start putting stuff in there that does not resolve or dissolve, and you find out you're taking this every day, and then now you got these pills that don't dissolve in your stomach, and now it has to process that somehow, and it says we can't process whatever these things are. Man, this is bad. This is bad. Check your emails. I'll see here. Here we go. DI and pals. Trump to sue the IRS for 10 billion. Yes, we were talking about this last week. I guess taxpayers are going to pay for this bill. There you go. That's exactly what we were talking about last week, DI and pals. I said, so let me get this straight. The president of the United States is going to sue the taxpayers because that's who the IRS is. Taxpayers get sued if he wins, and it goes beyond that. What I said last week is the same stands now. He's going against his own DOJ. That's right. His own hand-picked DOJ is who he's going against. So you know they're going to settle or give him $10 billion of taxpayer money. And so we'll just add on to the most grifting by a president in history. He's already up to 3.6, 3.7 billion. And if he gets this, oh, 13 billion, 13.7 billion. The odds of him getting this is pretty slim since he's going through his own Justice Department, right? That's who he's against. The Justice Department would have to defend this, right? Hey, but he doesn't take a salary, right? Okay, I can't get into this tonight. I'm sorry. Don't get me there. You guys know how to goat me into this because it's nonsensical that people think this is okay. This is nonsensical. I'm like, you're nothing more than a third world country. I'm like, it just cracks me up how much people don't give a damn. And they talked about third world countries for the last 100, 200 years. Oh, China, they're third world country. Oh, North Korea, they're third world. Oh, man, Mexico, they're third world country. Yeah, Africa has all these third world countries. I'm like, you guys are doing nothing different except calling it capitalism when it's not capitalism. Oh, this is hilarious stuff out here. Hilarious stuff. All right. You're trying to get me banned out here, man. DIM Bows. DIM Pals, you're trying to get me banned again. Actually, I was never banned. All I'm saying is demonetized is what they're calling banned, right? That's what I call banned, demonetized. But it doesn't really matter, man. We don't have enough views for it. It doesn't matter. Even if I am really monetized. So that's why I always appreciate those that give out their donations and also people that are members of the channel. So I thank you guys very much. All right. Now, let's get back to the business at hand because, yes, I have the emails up. Yes, we got to talk about it. Let me go. how's this possible? Oh, there we go. Okay, I know because I know there's another recall. I know there is. And by the way, Google agrees to $135 million settlement for collecting Android users' data. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Just saying. Okay, Nipah virus outbreak has Asia on high alert amid deaths in India. Okay, now, do you guys understand? This is getting to be crazy because let's put it another way. Remember, the United States wants to step out from who? The World Health Organization. All right, whatever. Let's say you don't agree with World Health Organization. Okay, but here's the thing: when there's an outbreak in some other location, you're not involved with decision making and seeing what's going on. So that's a problem. Then, just like right now, there's no PSA, there's no information. Some Americans might be flying over to India right now. In fact, I know there are, right? They don't know that there was an outbreak until they get there. And now they got to come back. Like I said, F around and find out. But I don't mind. Look, again, I don't want you guys here, no matter what. You're listening to me, so I appreciate it. But not on my watch. In fact, I didn't go over the NOMY. Not on my watch, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I put it on the last video. NOMY. Not on my watch. All right. No matter what, you guys aren't going to be sitting around here fodder. You're not going to be marks. All right. Once you understand that America is not what you think it is, they're not protecting you. That used to be a thing. Now it's almost as if we could lose about 20 to 30 million people by death. That's what it seems like. If you're trying to kill people, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm pretty sure we're sitting right here. And I am damn sure that if we said, if you're the United States, how would you kill people? One, restrict your health care. Because anything after that, all I have to do is drop a poison pill down the sink. And we don't even have to do that because I'm going to recall FDA and USDA. So therefore, I'm going to take the inspectors off. So I know for a fact that there's going to be bad food, bad medications, and we're going to say the nurses, that profession is no longer a profession. So they're not going to be able to get updated education unless they want to spend 15 to 20 grand. When you know 8 out of 10 don't have money because they live paycheck to paycheck. I think that would sum it up. I know for a fact I could kill about 20 to 30 million people in about 5 years. Does this sound crazy? I don't think so because it's happening right now. So you better start figuring out what you're going to do with this wealth situation, ladies and gentlemen. Hello from Punta Cana. All right, man, I'm glad you're there. What's the weather like? Tell me, is there a cold front in the middle of the Caribbean? That's what I want to know. And Eric, I listened to you last week. I may switch my Gulf View unit to a Hard Rock View and Ocean View at the end. That's what I'm talking about, man. Dude, you have no choice. No choice. Man, dude, hands down, you will thank me for life. Get the Ocean View unit. Do not delay so they give it to somebody else. Oh, and by the way, since you're there right now, you can actually go up on well, wait, you can go to the room level and go look and say, I don't want that 2 bedroom. How about that 2 bedroom? Because remember how the Hard Rock is designed, where they have the open U. So if you can be in that section that's the open U, well, there is a building at the end. But still, do you want to see rooftop or do you want to be able to see the ocean from there? That all depends. So it's kind of like I might pick the U inside the U because then I can see on down the sides and see the ocean versus seeing the rooftops if I'm down there and then the ocean at the end. Just saying. You can get your pick, I hope, if they allow you. I don't know, but that's nice of them to even let you get a choice. I got to give it to them because that's how you should do it. If you're effing up and you don't deliver on time, you should give people something extra. And I'm very happy to see that at least there's a developer who's actually trying to make amends and say, okay, guys, I know we effed up. Let me at least try to make it better for those of you who got in earlier. I love that. I love that. I don't even know who the developer is for Connor Rock, but that's pretty cool. All right, we'll see the numbers tomorrow. They're giving me phase one prices. Wait, what? Okay, I don't understand. Is it a different building or it's still the Galaxy, right? Let me know. If it's still the Galaxy, then weren't you? I don't know what floor you're on to begin with. I'm assuming you're on third floor or second floor or something. So, do you know what first? I thought you were first phase. So whether you were on the second or third or fourth floor, all it did was go up what, 5 grand or 3 grand, 3 to 5 grand. That was it. So it should only be 6 to 10 grand more if they're making you pay more. I gave them too much credit. I gave them too much credit. I thought they were doing it out of being late, carte blanche. I didn't realize they're going to say, "Well, give me some extra money." But okay, and in your case, though, I will say this: it's a give and take because you can stay at your same level. But again, the ocean view for 10 grand more, I'm there. That's all I can say. It's worth it. Let me do this since we're talking about it before I go. Hold on. I'm not leaving. But baby formula toxins, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this part, because again, this stock market meme coin situation, the gold, silver, precious metals, crypto, all acting like a meme coin, that's what we're in right now. This is why the best time to become a stock market trader would have been now, because volatility makes it a little bit easier to win if you know what you're doing, the way I see it. All right, let's go. Yes, I walked all the way to the top. The penthouse available is the biggest one, and the view is incredible. You're towering over Hard Rock and can see the entire ocean. So they add another level or something? Because that is awesome. Yeah, but that's not what they're talking about, right? Wait, what? I don't know what the penthouse was at Connor Rock when it first came out. What? Well, it might have only been. Oh no, we do know it was like. Wasn't it only like 295, something like that? That would be a hell of a deal. Well, okay. I just don't like how the Connor Rock situation is. But if we're talking about the nice penthouse units that were extra large, and they're saying they're going to give them at first phase pricing, and you can get ocean view, and they say something like 295, 305, 275. Now, and I think those weren't they threes with 3.5 baths or something like that? I oh, we can go look. Hold on a second. We got to go look this up. This is exciting. This could be exciting. Let me know. Let me know. But hold on. Let's go. Let's go with the two, the tango. Let's go with, you know, I know you're married. What does the wife say? That's the kick. What does the wife say? All right. Here's the link, ladies and gentlemen. Exposing food toxins. This is serious, though. This is baby formula toxin testing. Indicates testing levels exceeded the maximum daily limit set by the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, and U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Remember, I told you, you start taking away people and employees. It's after the fact, after it gets, oh man, oh no, arsenic, cadmium, lead, mercury, pesticides in your baby formula. Oh my gosh, this is Infamil. Oh my God, Infamil. A lot of people use Infamil. Bobby, Infamil, something called Simply Plant Based, which is also Infamil. Wholly organic infant form. What the heck? Kindle Mill, goat milk, Kindle Mill Classic, Similac. Oh my gosh. This is everybody. It's every Similac soy isomil, Similac Total Comfort. Oh, this is everybody. Damn near everybody. Oh my God. This is major. Anybody has a child, good luck. Good luck. Wow. 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 What I am saying is that they're using phase one price per square meter price. The penthouse is 2 floors. So you have fifth floor, the main house, and sixth floor with the terrace. Yeah. How big wasn't it like? I think it wasn't it like 1,700, 1,800 square feet? Something like that. 1,600 square meters, 1,500. It was somewhere around there. Yeah, but that's pretty good. Phase one pricing was only, wasn't it like 12? Hold on a second. Let me go look. I think it was, what was it? Wasn't it 140 square meters? Yeah, I think it is. 1,500 times, is it 150? 225? Nah, it can't be. Can't be. That's, okay, we'll go 170 times 15. 255? Okay, all I can say is, oh, I keep forgetting they got the terrace up top. Oh, it's bigger than that. It's like two something. It was 230, I believe. Let's go look if I'm right about the 230 part. I think that's about right. 345, 350. I think. Yeah, it was. I forgot about the terrace, so it was twice. So it was about, wasn't it like 230 square meters, something like that? I think somewhere in that ballpark. Oh, there we go. It's 280. Okay. Current price of the penthouse almost 700K, but you have about 280 square meter. Okay, 280. Um so what is it? Wasn't first phase pricing around, it's around 15 or 1400 per square meter, right? That's what I'm using. So it's 280 times, I use 1500. I don't think it was that. 1500 is only 420. 700, geez. Man, but that's 3 grand square feet. Um that's, I mean, so we're talking about, I think we're going to be talking around 400 G's. And what's the bottom line number? Is it like 400 G's? Yeah, I know they then quadrupled in 6 years, but it has to be 400. It has to be like, I don't have it. It has to be somewhere around there. It has to be somewhere around there. That's pretty awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting in that food toxins again because this meme coin, the stock market, again, you're trading. First of all, I started talking about something, the stock market memes. If you haven't downloaded a brokerage account yet, please do so, or get Fidelity or whoever you want. But obviously, we have, apps, and Webull, Robinhood, and Moomoo give you free shares of stock when you download the apps. Except Robinhood and Moomoo got cute and they want you to make deposits. Basically, let's just make it simple. Deposit $100 and you got to keep it in there for 2 months before they'll issue your free stock. All right. So just keep that in mind. What happened? This didn't go well. Oh, that's what happened. Geesh, don't want that. That's a problem. All of the, yeah, I put the whole thing in there. So everybody watching, I put the whole, that's what's in the description box. or will be. That's funny. Okay, and then I have Wealthfront in here as well. So check out this next. Disregard those previous messages, but here you go. All right, there's Wealthfront. In case you're one of these people that don't want to do stock trading at all, this is set it and forget it. You put your money in Wealthfront. They don't charge you a management fee until you have over $4,999 in your account. So you can get started at a low amount with them, and they'll manage and it'll grow. All right, that's Wealthfront. That's included in with Robinhood, Webull, and all that. All right, let's figure out what's going on. This is exciting to get some of this. Uh-oh, did I mess up again? Oh Jesus, messed up twice. Hold on, what's going on? I didn't see that. How did I do that? Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Oh, wow. How did that's oh, I see what happened. I thought I copied it, but I didn't. Um yeah, there we go. All right. Here's the real one. Or maybe the other one was the real one too. But anyhow, enough of that. Now, first things first, ladies and gentlemen, there's your crypto. I need you to think about your debt resolution as well. All right. Don't forget about that. We have somebody that can help you. You don't have to sit there and deal with debt collectors or file bankruptcy or do any of this. You can actually have somebody speak for you, talk to them, negotiate on your behalf, and that is who you need to email. Tracy, TRACY.sharpe, SHARPE, at moneyladder.com. I'm going to put it in the chat room because, you know, people need to see it. But all I can say is this is what's going down, and more people are going to need it. And of course, after I saw the Ally Bank doing what they're doing, that means there's going to be other companies trying to take advantage of the people that have bad credit of 4, 5, 600 scores, low sixes. They're going to be trying to take advantage, and they're going to do a good job because as soon as they see the 0% for 9 months, that, you know, connotates, oh man, I'll be able to pay back more of whatever I pay, and it'll just be like a temporary loan until living paycheck to paycheck, and you already have a bad history of not paying appropriately. So they know this. And so I think more people are going to ultimately get in trouble. So just be very, very careful out here. All right. Now, I put in the chat room once again the link, the email address to hit up Tracy. Let her know Eric sent you, SSN Nation. Just say familia. The video came out maybe a year and a half ago. When she came on, she worked for another company. Do not email the other company. She doesn't work there any longer. She works for Money Ladder now and still does the same thing. She loves helping people out of situations, and you're renegotiating the debt. It takes 1 year to 2 years most of the time to get that cleared off, and you're not going to be able to go out and get some new loans and all this stuff in the meantime. So once it's paid off, they're going to put on your credit file that you paid in good standing. So you're not going to have derogatory information. That is major. You can get up off the canvas that way. All right. So just think about it. There it is. All right. Let's get back into the stock market meme, and we will get into the Puna Cana because I want to hear how much are they charging you for that unit. Now, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen, for the stock market memes, because we have the stock market volatility means you should be able to win. Whether you're going to invest in the big boys, you know, the Teslas, the Palantirs, the Microsofts, the Amazons. Amazon stock goes up when they laid off people. Can you believe this? I mean, I do believe it, but most people who aren't from here of the SSN Nation do not understand the correlation. Again, one of the most expensive things is employees. That's why the first to go when there's a problem or when there's less revenue is to let go of a few hundred or thousands and thousands of employees. That instantly turns off the spigot on an expense that is a bulk of a business expense. So you can imagine when Amazon laid off, what was it, 5,000 or 6,000 or 16,000 people. And if you start doing numbers, for instance, right, you say, okay, what if everybody made on average $100,000 a year, right? Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. 16,000 times 100,000 is 1.6 million saved. No, 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 billion. Sorry. 1.6 billion saved. That's a lot of cheddar. All right. Come on. They just said, okay, we just got rid of 1.6 billion. Just like that. Can't be mad. It's a business, ladies and gentlemen. This is why sometimes you have to consider when you work for somebody else, they have to make decisions. And I hate to say, but oftentimes they do not care about what situation you are in. So this is why the stock market is going up and down. Another reason, 1,600 layoffs. UPS also had layoffs. Why? Who ships Amazon products? UPS. If there's tariffs, less shipping inside and outside of America, because now those products that Amazon would get out of Vietnam, Thailand, China, Philippines, some of those cost more now. People said, I'm not going to buy. Now, when people say I'm not going to buy, now there's a less shipments going out. UPS now is not getting their shipment. They rely on each other, self-fulfilling prophecy. So when one goes down, both go down. They don't need as many people as well. So between the two companies, 50,000 Americans or residents are getting laid off this year. I don't know what to tell you because I've already said this before. For the last 6 years, when Trumpster was president before talking about tariffs. And the same thing happened then. The stock market volatility means you get to win. You can't sit on the sidelines and watch the parade keep going by. This is why I had to just come to terms with I needed to study. I needed to understand the market because I had to get in where I could fit in. I finally figured out what feels good for me in order to make trades that make sense. Well, he's making it awfully easy because the volatility of the stock market is almost predictable. Just like last week, before post-retirement travel went on his start of his worldwide tour, he said, I loaded up the truck because it dropped 400 or 500 points on the Dow. Loaded up the truck, and now the market just keeps Thank you. Okay, guess what? There's something that happened in the background. Thank you for letting me know. Something came up that says, "Oh, you were temporarily cut off or something." And I just ignored it. Now I know what this means because that's happened a couple times. That turned off my mic because I was saying, "How's my mic getting turned off all these times?" Well, thank you so much for that. All right, back to a whole monologue missed out on. You guys, you got to put stuff in the chat room whenever my mic gets cut off. All right, I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not miming out here. All right, I'm not a mime. I'm not good at miming. All right, although I did play a clown, but never a mime. All right, but if you won't know the numbers, I don't understand. You know the numbers because you're in first phase and you know what your price per square meter was. Because isn't your unit like, what is it, 130 square meters? Actually, we can figure it out. I mean, I think we can. I think it, yeah. So let me see. Uh, it couldn't have been 1600. Nah, your unit has to be bigger than. It's got to be what, 1440 square meters? Hold on. Why don't I just go look? Why don't I just go look? It's a Rock. Wonder if it's still Info. Let's see. Let's go see. Yes, it's still here. Okay, privacy. I can just go look. Okay. There's some availability, except not at your price because your unit's over 400 Gs. Oh, I was close. 136 square meters. There we go. All right. So, oh, it is at 136. Oh, sorry. Okay. Divided by 136. That's 1544 square meters. So, yeah, that's, hold on a second. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. It depends on what floor you're on. Oh, that's first floor. You weren't. Oh, wait. It's 123. That means it was even higher. Oh, my. Okay, that means it's even higher than 1500 square meter. That was pricey. That's pricey. There's no units here for me to check out. There's no hold on a second. Oh wait, there's ocean view, floor 5. Let's go. Find property. Is there any for sale? None. All right. So we know it's around 1544 square meters or 1600 square meters, but we don't know how big the penthouse units are. Oh, yes, we do. You said it was 280. 280 times 1600. I think that's where we're at. 448. 448. I think that's 1600 per square meters. That's first phase, or roughly thereabouts. I mean, but is it? That's a lot. That's a lot to be locked in. You guys know how I feel about paying 400 and some odd $1,000 for, it's not a villa. I mean, you can buy a villa. I mean, when you start doing this kind of stuff and in a nice area, yeah, you can't buy in Punta Cana Village. But then again, I'm not really a big fan of Punta Cana Village. I mean, downtown, kind of out of the way. I'd rather be down closer to downtown, quite frankly. The other downtown, the real downtown where the mall is, not the blue mall either. But 448, that's 450, man. That starts getting up there. That starts getting up there. Now, uh, I know, I know it's gonna be like, um, oh, that's where I was muted. Hold on, I lost the. Yes, but I don't remember the phase one price per square meter of the penthouse at that time. It will be great if I can have that information. You can find it. Um, just Google Rock Galaxy penthouse unit put in 2018. See if it comes up. Oh, there is a way to do it though. Remember, just remember that the Rock has been out so long. Oh, Penthouse Archives by Rock. Are you kidding me right now? That's funny. That's funny. Oh my. They got a Wayback Machine? Let's see if it's real. Here you go. Since you have a meeting with them tomorrow, I put it in the chat room. Do they have a Wayback Machine on here? Is this for real right now? No way. Does this really work? Oh, it works. Hold on a second. This is kind of cool. Let's see. Rock Galaxy. Let's go with Ocean View, floor 5. Find property. Let's see if it shows up. No. No Wayback Machine. No love. No love. Zero love. This is not a Wayback Machine. It looks like it's just a. Yeah, nothing's happening. But seriously, there's going to be people on YouTube who were talking about Rock in 2019. At least you'll have 2019 prices. At least. So that's not bad. You can figure it out. I mean, there's people that I don't have a video for it because I never really. Okay, Galaxy. No, no. Wow, premium. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's 1 year ago. Somebody had one year ago, but that does you no good because you don't know what it was back then. Is Galaxy built? Because there's people online allegedly renting theirs and say they have a penthouse at Galaxy. That's interesting. Yeah, you're gonna have to do some search, but the easiest one is just go find, just go find an old video, so you'll be able to figure it out. Yeah, look, luxury penthouse 336 at Rock Condos. No, that's Rock Condos. Doesn't matter. All right, the search. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Let's get back to stock situation. You guys know how I feel about this. Stock trading, Coinbase. Okay. Coinbase. And by the way, something did come up. People had their crypto stolen. Coinbase. Jesus. Coinex from a central exchange recently, just like we said last week, crazy stuff. Crazy, 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 crazy. All right, that's why I had it. Okay. Now, I'll be remiss because we have more. We have more, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the situation happening in India, where I mentioned earlier, where people are coming. We'll get into the stock, but you'll see Coinex is in the chat room. That is a out of the United States broker. You load your account using crypto. Your winnings, profits, you download to wherever you want your crypto to go. All right. Now, here's the thing. They're using some sort of rotational thing because when you get your information, your alphanumeric character to send to, which is your own, what you use to send for deposit, that is not the same wallet that they use to send back. All right. So if your wallet is not on a central exchange, then there is no way to know who they sent the money to. And there's no way for anybody to really track it either, because unless you deposited 5 grand and unless you withdrew 5 grand, even then nobody would still be able to check because there's billions of transactions every day. All I'm saying is protect your money, protect yourself. All right. So that leads me to the card hasn't come in for Bancus yet for the new MasterCard. Again, I'm not where my mail is, so it doesn't really matter. But we're going to find out because it used to take 2 to 3 weeks. It's been about 2 weeks since their announcement. Then it was on a Tuesday or a Thursday. I think it was a Thursday Zoom call. So that's why I think it might have been 2 weeks last Thursday. And the third week is going to be this Thursday. So hopefully something comes in the mail. Otherwise, that would not be good. And in here in the chat room is CoinX. All right. And here is the outbreak in India. All right. So if anybody's traveling abroad, let's go. Be careful. And again, for all you who think you don't need some sort of shots to go overseas or vaccinations, I don't know if this can help you, but all I can tell you is be very, very careful, especially when you're going to countries that are, for all intents and purposes, developing nations or third world countries, because they have diseases that your system is not immune to. That's why they can eat certain food, you can't. All right. Their systems are used to it. So just be very, very careful on that. All right. Now, I put in the science of the Nipah. I call it the Nipah virus. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. Outbreak has Asia on high. Animals to humans now. Come on. Outbreaks happen in Asia from time to time. The first outbreak was reported in 1998 in Malaysia. There are three major ways it's transmitted. The first, via exposure to bats, and in particular, via contact with the saliva, urine, or feces of an infected bat. Jesus. Infections can also occur from contact with other infected animals, such as pigs, in the original Malaysia outbreak. The second way it can be transferred is contaminated foods, particularly date palm products. This means consuming date palm juice or sap that is contaminated with the bodily fluids of infected bats. The third is human to human transmission. Nipah transmission between humans has been reported via close contact, such as caring for a sick person. This can mean, for instance, being infected with bodily secretions contaminated with the virus in hospitals or households. This is the thought to be less common than the other transmission pathways. Wow. Okay. The time from infection to symptoms appear in generally 4 days to 3 weeks. It's a terrible disease. Around half the people who get severe Nipah virus infected die of it. Jesus. Symptoms: it can cause pneumonia, just as COVID could. But the illness we worry about is the neurological symptoms. Nipah can cause I don't know how to pronounce this, encephalitis, which is inflammation of the brain. The effects on the brain are why the fatality rate is so high: fever, seizures, difficulty breathing, falling unconscious, severe headaches, being unable to move a limb, jerky movements, personality changes. Yikes. 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 There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, stock market memes are going to matter. Pharmaceuticals are going to have a field day, right? I'm just saying, the stock market acting like a meme on news, information, what the president says, what the CEO says that their earnings were, all of this is coming into play to move the stock market. And those who can invest in the stock market, congratulations. Now, I talked about CoinX. The reason I talked about that is so you can get an account. Even if you don't upload money, at least they have a demo account so you can study. All right. You can see the markets. You can actually start getting around trading if you have never, like me, like 4 years, 4 weeks has gone, 4 months, sorry, 4 months has gone by. So, again, time to study the one bastion that's always going to be there, and that is the United States stock market. So, if you can learn to make money from that, that would be another weapon in your arsenal of being able to generate income. Personally, yes, it takes a little time for the way I'm looking at it because I had the charts up while I'm doing something else. But the fact of the matter is, you got to be paying attention or have alerts or something in order to act quickly. All right. So I put the Candlestick Trading Bible in the chat room. So make sure you can check that out. All right. Download it at your leisure, study it. It's 168 pages, but at least now that you have the CoinX and use your demo account, and then you pay attention to the charts. And then while you're reading, you'll start seeing some patterns. Then you'll say, okay, how are you going to formulate how you're going to trade? Everybody trades differently. Like I say, some people say, well, I'm just going to wake up at 9 o'clock and 9:30, I'm done or whatever. And then to other people, oh, wow, I trade in the afternoon, 12 to 1. I'm like, okay. Another person says, well, I do it like 2 hours before close. Some people say I just watch it all day. Some people say I set up alerts. So it tells me if certain situations happen, I get an alert, then I know I should go look. You need to find where you fit in because there's so many different things to look at. You have to feel comfortable with your trading and knowledge. So Candlestick Bible will help you do it. Take your time. I still haven't finished it after 4 months. I'm only on like page 113, 112, somewhere in there. It has 168 pages. All right. But during that time frame, all this testing on the demo account, because you can reload the demo account, then I formulated my idea because I started using different signals or charts than what was previously talked about because I started watching videos, obviously. And then I found the one with orders. And I was like, wait a minute, okay, if I know what the orders are, that helps. And the amount of orders where they're sitting, that helps. So it kind of gave me a little bit different way to look at it. Other people, everybody trades differently. So you're going to have to figure out what's good for you. And yes, you can look on YouTube. There's all kind of people saying they can do this, they do that, they do this. But it's up to you how you feel with the tools that you want to use. That's only my recommendation as a 4-month trader. All right. I haven't been doing this for years like my friends. All right. They may give other advice, but my advice being new is study, do your demo, feel comfortable, and then eventually you're going to have to use some real money when you feel comfortable and be confident that you're comfortable. Okay. Just saying. But it takes a minute. There's people that have studied for my friends have done this 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, and there's no mastery. At least the way they're trading, there's no mastery. These guys have told me they have losses, but they also have wins. Now, as most people do, you most of the time you talk about your L's, right? Like again, I always ache into when you play poker. You can win, but you always remember the one where the guy had a 2-outer and took the chips, or a 1-outer and hit the chips, right? That's what's so funny. You always remember the ones that got away, the one that you were like, oh man, this should happen, and it doesn't. And that's how I'm saying you have to have money management in this. So that's another thing. The stock market memes are going to continue. We have we have all of this going down over the next year. Our deadline is December 31st for you to have your bank account outside the United States, outside of their jurisdiction, real estate or a business, and or a business outside the United States jurisdiction in another country. All right? That's for simple starters. So that way, if anything happens inside America, because you never know the way things are going, could get worse. So you might want to go chill in another country for a year or two, right? So you're setting yourself up for that. And you want to make sure that you're going to have an alternative. Crypto gives you an alternative to where you will be able to do some other transfers without United States banks, okay? Or brokerage accounts as well. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. So, Mo or E White, I don't know. I saw a video from a guy that they sent in our WhatsApp, and the guy started saying, "Hey, he's after my own heart." The guy was telling people that he was saying, if I got this right, hold on, it's pretty good. It's pretty close to what I'm saying. But he says if you're living overseas, he says that the Social Security, any monies coming directly from USA to overseas bank accounts, oftentimes they freeze the money. So he said you should have a credit union in the US. Then he said he should have a Charles Schwab international brokerage account because it has a debit card. I thought that was very interesting. Very smart, but very interesting, but not what I'm going to say because that is cool. That seems pretty good because basically you're sending the money to your USA credit union. Then you have no fear, you're getting your disbursement for the month from Social Security or veterans or whatever. So then you're actually sending the money to your Schwab International account. So it's seamless, right? So I thought that was very interesting. So there is one thing though that I'm going to remind everybody as I did underneath his video. I said, yeah, but that means they're regular. If you do that, that means it's trackable to Schwab, and that means it's traceable because you have to give Schwab your info. So again, I have this thing about the United States tracking me. Just me. I'm sure there's other people too. So therefore, that's a no-go zone for me. So that's why the new card that Bancus came out with, which I always have to talk about, is when I send crypto to the Bancus card in Mexico City, guess what? It's not tracked by the United States because the Bancus card is not based in the US, nor do they need approval. So the funny part is the United States will try to block this from coming in because then we'll realize United States citizens can send money out without us knowing, and we won't know where the hell they are. Remember, you live in a broke country. These guys are going to be scouring about for some money pretty soon, real soon. And I don't mean decades. They're already doing it. Um, Another person reported, what did that lady say? Uh, let's see if I can just, let me see if I can do it by bank. I don't remember where she was. But she's in the USA. A lady just posted something like 4 days ago that she went to her bank, tried to take out money, and she goes, "My money was gone." And I was like, here we go again. Deja vu. I told you, it doesn't happen to 30, 40, 50 million people. It just happens to a few million out of the 300 million. So then it seems like it's, nah, people, they're like, nah, it doesn't happen. And I thought that was like, I'm just sick because it just continues to happen time and time again. Uh, it's just crazy. So here's one from a year ago. This isn't the lady now, but I was just Googling who had their money taken out. More than 80,000 was transferred out of a woman's the guys I'll never bank with, Wells Fargo account to a Citibank account, but she's not the one who moved the money. Like I said, this is the kind of stuff they've been doing. And of course, she got I already know, I don't even have to read it. I already know what happened because, we've been down this path. They're going to claim they know nothing about it. It ain't their fault. There's nothing they can do. It's not, you must have had no, you must have did something. You must have done it. And you're like, how? I'm here asking where my freaking money is. Why would I be asking where my damn money is if I have it? Come on, stop. But in my case, like I said, in case you don't know the story, I'm sure you guys have heard me say this over and over. Uh, Woodland is like 45 minutes away from SAC. My office was literally 100 yards away from the banks. Literally. I could walk there if I wanted to every day. 100 yards away is the banks. So I'm at the bank in South Sacramento, which means it's 50 to 55 miles from Woodland. And they're sitting there looking at my thing like, oh, yeah, see, you took money out at Woodland over here on Saturday. Oh, and look, you went over here and took it out in Woodland on Thursday. And I'm just like, you do know where I live, right? You do know how far Woodland. Why would I be going to Woodland to take out money when there's an ATM machine here? Are you serious right now? What are you talking about? And then they had to come back with, oh, we're sorry, Mr. Bird. We opened two accounts with the same account number at the same time. This never happens. So I'm thinking, okay, yeah, it's fine. You can give me my money now. Oh, no, no. We don't know if it wasn't you or if it was the other person. Uh, did the other person come in asking where their freaking money was? Are you serious right now? I'm pretty sure the other person would have came in and been acting just how I'm acting. Where's my money? I don't think he's asking where the money is he? Because he knows it wasn't his money. Like, what are you talking about right now? And of course, that just escalated even more until security. And of course, the 911, can we help you? Yes, we have a person at this bank. You might want to come over here. We may need help. uh, would you feel comfortable putting 25,000 in that account? Yeah. Which account? Wells Fargo? Hell no. Bank of America? Hell no. US Bank? Hell no. See, here's what happens, MDA. Once you have your money stolen by US banks that are allegedly regulated, yeah, everybody else kind of gets a pass first too. So I have no problem with it. Um, you know what? Funny, actually, you know what? It's only prudent. Um, it's only prudent. Let me see. Let's see. Is that a thing? Maybe it could be a thing. Let's go see. Let's go see. But yes, I would feel comfortable, just so you understand. Yeah, the crypto account. Yeah, I'd feel comfortable. I don't know. You have to use crypto anyhow. So far so good. Because remember, the bank. Yeah, I haven't gotten up to 25K yet though. So we'll see what happens when it happens. But yeah, I'm gonna have money out there, just like I have money in a bank in the DR, right? Just like I have money in a bank in Australia. I mean, I'm just like nothing the USA can do about it. It's like, I mean, at least I know. At least I know no money's going to be missing. By the way, J.P. Morgan, I never had an issue with, ever, ever had an issue with. Um, just saying. Washington Mutual, which went bye bye. I had, I had, oh man, I had three accounts with them, something like that. Then they merged, and it got funky for a second, but then my money showed back up. It was weird, but I've had issues with United States bank accounts, and I haven't had any issues with international bank accounts, which is weird. Just saying. United States is it doesn't man. They're a third world country, man. Just stop. Just stop. Like I said, we have social media. You can just go on YouTube. I'm pretty sure there's people or social media, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be people saying the bank stole my money or took stuff out my safe deposit box, or the federal government came in and took it out. I mean, and you're going to be doing just what everybody else does. Oh, I must have been doing something wrong. Something happened, and they're going to be explaining, no, man, there's nothing. And you're going to be looking at them like, something must have. You're not telling us the whole thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what's going to happen. Trust me. That's what my friends all said when we didn't have social media. They were like, oh, no, no, now we have social media. And I'm like, you can look every day. You'll find somebody talking about their money was taken. And you can also find the reports of CEOs, executives, tellers, management taking money out of customers' accounts. And of course, if you start saying that, which is more of the likelihood, then all of a sudden people are going to say, I'm putting my money in a bank if this is what's happening. So, it's one of those things. Interesting. I've never had a problem here. Yeah, man, you're lucky. Again, just because you never had a problem, guess what? There's millions that have. Right now, you know what? You know what? Check this out. Remember when Wells Fargo was opening up people's accounts to generate new accounts and taking money out of other people's accounts and taking and stealing and moving? That was at Wells Fargo. Obviously, you didn't have Wells Fargo, and they didn't tap your account. They tapped mine. You didn't have Bank of America when they did it either. Look at this right here. Wells Fargo between 2002 and 2016, 14 years. Employees opened roughly 1.5 million unauthorized deposit accounts and applied for over 565,000 credit card accounts, often forging signatures, creating phony email. That's different. That's different. That's crazy. That is wild. 14 years. This is what I'm saying. These guys, it's no regulation as they claim. 14 years they were doing crazy stuff. Wells Fargo cross-selling scandal was caused by creation of millions of fraudulent savings and checking accounts on behalf of Wells Fargo clients. Does this sound familiar? Yeah. Me and another person supposedly had the exact same bank account opened at the same time on your regulated system. I doubt it. But anyhow, that's what they were doing too. Millions of fraudulent savings and checking accounts on behalf of Wells Fargo without their consent. Oh, yeah, that sounds familiar. Or knowledge due to aggressive internal sales goals at Wells Fargo. The criminal suit, $2.7 billion. Um, yeah, yeah. This is regulated, right? I mean, this goes on and on, man. There's way more than this. That's just tip of the iceberg. Um, Jesus. See, this is why I tell everybody you shouldn't even be effing with Wells Fargo, man. Just saying. And then, like MDA says, well, they've been good with me. Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. But you can see right now they're not that good. And this is in the 2000s. This isn't even in the 80s and 90s when they were doing their other unethical crap. Bank of America, watch this. All of them. I mean, except like I said, JP Morgan probably has scandals too, but um, uh, I'm not going to do that Zelle thing. Let's go Bank of America. Check this out, man. This is like I said. This is kind of wild. Stealing customers, money. I mean, this is going to show up again. I mean, come on. This is a thing. Yes, Bank of America has been subject to significant regulatory action for illegally charging. Okay, I don't care about that. We already know they've been doing that. That's what U.S. Bank did to me. B of A, something off their online account software started. It will come out in some big class act. This is 12 months ago where Bank of America is stealing money from its customers. This guy posted up that his money was stolen, and he's talking, your money is not safe at Bank of America 2019. That's another person. Um, this is interesting. Well, Bank of America, fraudulent activity. Yeah, they will. Let's see here. I don't care about that. Um, 500K allegedly stolen from Bank of America. Hold on. This is different. This is different. The woman worked for Bank of America. Woman speaks out after 500K. A woman who trusted a former Bank of America employee with the finance began after he was charged with stealing over 500,000 from her. Okay. That's not B of A stealing. That's somebody doing some scam stuff. But I mean, you can just Google and you'll see these guys. It's all over the place. 3 years ago, Bank of America reporting money missing from their accounts. That's Bank of America. This is no shocker, man. This is your regulated environment, man. Interesting. Never had a problem. Yeah, man. You might not, but like I told you, it's only like 1 million or 2 million people that's affected a year. All you have to do is remember, if you say 1 million people, and then you say 5 grand, 6 grand each. I mean, it starts adding up, right? So I'll just use like 5 grand, right? $5 billion. That's it. That's all it takes. 1 million people, and that's it. And like I said, I've been telling people this for 30 years. People are just like, say stuff like what you say, MDA. I never had a problem. I'm like, okay, great. But you don't understand. There's a lot of people. There's millions. I figured there's always 1 million to 2 million. It's always a low number because most people don't even know about it. Like I said, the only reason I knew about it was because I didn't really have but a few thousand in there. And my thing was, I wrote a check, my 001, my very first check for something like meaningless, like $50 or something. And I never had a reason to take the money out or even go there and look or nothing. So when I wrote the check, a week later, I comes back to my office and it says bounced. And I was like, how's this happening? I've never even used my account, never withdrew anything. So that's why I was like, what do you mean? So the bank's right there. So I just said, I'll just drive down there, see what's going on. So I went down there, and that's when I find out you don't have no money in your bank account. And what are you talking about? You took the money out. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why am I here? I am asking you, why is my check bounced? If I took the money out, would I be? I mean, there was so much stuff. It was crazy. Why would I be asking why my check bounced? And why would it be 001? I've never even, back then, they didn't give debit cards for business accounts either. So there was nothing I could do. And I had a personal, so I had some money in that one too. And they said, you and another guy had the same account. And he opened his up in Woodland. So again, where's my money? Oh no. No, we don't know which one of you took the money. I lost it. Not really, but I got a little more bolsterous. Like, have you fucking lost your mind? Are you really this stupid? Are you serious right now? What you heard what you just said to me? I rolled up in here asking you where my money is, and clearly the other person is not rolling up at the bank going, "Where's the money?" I'm the one that wrote 001 check and it bounced for $50. And now I'm here asking, "Where's my money?" I'm like, why would I? What are you talking about right now? Oh no, sir. You must have went to Woodland and taken it out. I'm like, have you? Are you listening to what you're saying? I was like, this was so naturally. I think people are going to start going off. Like me, I'm going off. I'm young, much younger, and I'm not sitting there listening to some people at the bank talking about you went 50 miles away to go withdraw money. I'm like, if you've lost your mind right now, when you're literally 100 yards away from where I'm leaving, damn near 4 days a week, and I'm going to drive all that way. Come on, for what purpose? This doesn't even make any sense. You're lying to me. You're lying to me right now. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I don't trust banks in America. I'll trust any bank outside of America before I trust banks in America. Because it's not one bank, it's not two banks, it's three banks. And I named them: US Bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. And like I said, Washington Mutual got funky too, but that's when they went into their somehow out of business sale or some crazy, but at least it got corrected, because that was about to be bank number four. So yeah, all this stuff I'm not down. And oh, by the way, I have a bank number four that I've never talked about. Um in the state of Georgia that hemmed up my brokerage account for 3 years when they sold their bank. Not just mine, everybody's that had their brokerage account with them. 3 years. The bank goes, "Oh yeah, we're out of business." So they send a message, "Hey everybody, we're out of business, and if you have a checking and savings account, your money's gonna go to this new branch or new bank that you can, they're gonna take over your account." Everybody's, and well, not everybody, but everybody with the brokers, I can imagine when they're looking at the letter, like, okay, where's the brokerage info? It's like, what? Yeah, and Georgia. The other ones were in Cali. Yeah, there's a problem with that. So again, it hasn't happened to you, but it's out there. It's out there. Uh, here you go. Uh, Crazy stuff, man. Um, uh, I can't believe this. Yeah, this one I can't talk about just yet. Still not on the. It's not out. we have a situation going on. I can't talk about that, but it'll be resolved one of these days. Um, all right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So the Bancus card. The reason why I have that is because, or I am moving toward the new card, is several reasons. Outside the United States, and and really, it's not even. I mean, it's kind of cool, but the only thing that I really like about the feature is if you don't mind the 4% to upload your crypto to it, which I think is hefty. Too bad that's not lower. Um, there's the Bancus app. Download the Bancus app. That's all I request of you, please. And there's a link for that. Then you can study and see what they have to say tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. Eastern on Zoom, or Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern on the Zoom. The links are in the chat room. And the coolest feature is basically, as long as you have that card, I think, is you're portable, you're movable, you have an account and a card. But the thing is, you have an account and you have a digital card as well. So you don't even need your card really. But the fact of the matter is, you order a $45, which includes the $10 shipping for the plastic card that you can tap, or you can order for $85, which is $10 shipping plus $75 for the metal card, no tap feature. But the point is, once you have money in your account, you can send money to other people at zero fees. So if you send somebody 2 grand, it's 2 grand. And let's say you had 5 grand in your account and you sent 2 grand, you would have 3 grand in your account. They will have 2 grand in theirs. No fee. It's internal systems, which is actually cool because that is a bypass in my book. Because that's what it ultimately ends up being. Because it's not in a trackable system. Just like if I wire you money, that's trackable. Again, I have no problem with regulations. I just have a problem with what has happened. And I know what happens to Americans. And so I don't like any trackable period. And so I'll just avoid it altogether. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying I'd rather not be in the US system. So that's all I'm saying. If I can be outside a little, I'd rather have pieces outside. So then you don't have brokerage accounts hemmed up for 3 years, right? Having to do lawsuits, having to do NDAs, having to do all kind of crap. All right. So now you run into other factors that I'm not going to deal with these guys. Now they could go out of business or they could do something else. They could be scammers. They could do something. But the point is, that's one of the features that's major because anywhere, anybody in the world you can send money to as long as they have a Bancus account. And you could have one just by downloading the app with the link I have right now. You don't even have to upload any money, which is the other interesting thing. Because they give you a digital card, but you have to order in order to have the digital feature, which is, but 35, $45 ain't that much. Come on. For being anywhere in the world and you can have money. And it's crypto based. So you're sending crypto to it, which I like as well. The only problem with the crypto is depending on where you live, you might not be able to load it because you can't load via fiat, which is the other thing. So I don't mind not loading via fiat. But for me living in America and I have access, if I'm downloading stuff to it, I'm good. And I'll let you know if it's stolen. But again, I don't know when we get up to 20 G's, 30 G's, that'll be interesting. But they've been in business for 5 years. This product right here has not. This is an added feature. They've been doing it. I mean, they do have like Bancus.io, I think is their Bancus Bank or whatever it is, but I don't really care about that because I don't care about any banking features. I just want to be able to have money sitting outside the United States regulated environment. That's it. Um, Better off having multiple accounts plus a digital wallet. I wouldn't trust that company anymore than the next. I hear you, but you trust somebody, don't you? I mean, you have your money sitting somewhere right now. Like I said, you should really Google or go to YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. There's going to be tons of people, tons. Like I said, banks were going to go out of business in 2007, 8, 9. I've said this many times. They were going out of business. They were grabbing money out of people's accounts. 300 G's or more, saying, "Hey, uh, you got a loan from us. Well, it's kind of like making deal kind of things, but basically grabbing the funds. You're a great customer. We'll make it up," or whatever the BS they were saying. It's just crazy in a regulated environment, and all they do is get to pay fines after they do all this damage. Fines, not reimburse everybody 100% of what they stole. Fines. Think about that. So I hope it never happens to you, MDA, because then you too would be like, damn, I can't even trust nobody out here. Like I said, not every bank's the same, but again, I didn't have, I used to bank at Citibank. I didn't have no problem with them. I mean, I had banks, oh man, I had so many banks, it's crazy. I can't even remember all the banks that have come and gone. Say credit unions for the savings and loans debacle in the 89 through 91. Man, you should see what happened then too. Savings and loans, credit unions. Yeah, that have a nice name to them, so to speak, now, but yeah, it was damaged back then. It was bad. Savings and loans crisis. Go study that. That's my era. That's when I, again, dealing with all kind of madness, which, come to think of it, I can't remember the credit union or the savings and loan that I had. So if I count them guys too, that's like 4 regulated environments in the United States. Study that one. That for some reason American history doesn't even talk about. Yeah, late 1980s. All right, here we go. This is funny stuff. I just pulled it up because I wanted to see what they say now. No, no, not that. I'm gonna go in a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, because I think you guys have the gist of the situation. Remember, 775 credit score. That's where you need to go. Offshore bank accounts, or real estate, or business. But a bank account is number one. Business is number two. All right. Savings and loan crisis, 1980s and 90s. SNL was the failure of approximately a third of savings and loans banks. Who was the president? That was G. Bush one. Yep, G. Bush one. Uh, hold on. Let me see if they actually know the number stolen from people. Let's see. Oh, oh. Oh, taxpayers had to bail out 124 to 132 billion, but 21,000 investors lost their savings. See the 21,000? Like I told you, MDA and everybody watching this, you might not have been one of the 21,000. This is what I'm referring to. I was one of the 21,000, and I had more damage than any, not from dollar figure. I had damage that way, but I had more damage because I had court cases that I needed my mortgage statements. And since these dudes shut down, I couldn't have my mortgage statements. Back then, there was no email. They would come in the mail. When the mortgage, the savings and loan crisis happened, it's not coming in the mail. And now I can't call them up and say, hey, send me a copy. And that's another issue. That also affected me, by the way. Um, all right, what can they do that a digital wallet can't do? What do you mean? Uh, what do you mean? Digital wallets are the same. It's just so you can charge. That's, it's just the same thing. From your account, it's the same thing. Digital wallet inside of the United States, like I said, it's the US thing, man. I don't really care about what it is. It's not in the US is all I care about. And I like it that it's not using fiat money, which also means I don't have to worry about that. And that also means I can use crypto from my wallets, their anonymous wallets. So again, no transactions, no traces, no nothing. Like it didn't happen because it didn't happen. That's the key. Hey, again, you don't know where you live yet, but it's all good. Like I said, I hope it never happens to you. I hope if there will be when the next whatever financial crisis happens. I hope you don't open up, your accounts and you're like, "Where's my money?" And they're sitting there giving you some BS stuff. I hope you stay calm and say, it never happened before. It's all good. I hope you stay calm because I wasn't. And I was like, hold up, man. I'm coming to see who the bank, who's, man, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. I mean, I wasn't, a person would be a little upset, you know, if your money's missing, right? So I'll like I said, if your brokerage account was gone and you said, "Hey, where's your money?" and they said some BS like, "Oh yeah, we're having a little failure problem, and we get your savings and loan, you can have that, but that money that's tied up in your brokerage, oh no, we got to keep it. We got a financial situation, and the brokerage account ain't the same as the other stuff, so we're holding on to this. How long? We don't know. Could be like a year. Year goes by. Where's my money? Oh no, we're not done yet. Oh, in fact, we got lost. You're damn right. What are you talking about, man? There's other people that got money. They're gonna do lawsuits too. Everybody's gonna do lawsuits. It's like, what the fuck? All right, let's go. I'm confused. Is a card you ordered not managed by a company? No, it is managed by a company in Mexico City, outside of USA jurisdiction, is all I'm saying. It's no different than having a being handled by what is that Gemini card somebody told me about, right? Same thing, except the Gemini card is regulated by the United States. So when you upload, download, hold, it's all trackable. I mean, it's fine. I mean, you're not doing nothing illegal anyhow, so it's fine. But the point of the matter is, I just eliminating any possibilities of my money gone missing all of a sudden. And I'm taking a risk, obviously, at the other company in Mexico. But hey, to me, there's no difference. Once you have your money stolen by five different banking situations, um, you kind of don't have that much faith in so-called regulatory USA banking system. You understand? So when you tell me I'm more worried about leaving my money in a US bank, quite frankly. And that's why I always said you better have that duffel bag of cash too. So when you have so again, if somebody shut up, took your brokerage account, and even though the money's there and that they held it hostage, uh, I know you do big things, so you would be cool for how long? I mean, fine, they're holding it, fine, but you have no access to it for 3 years, and you still don't know the outcome. I guess you'll be calm. If you roll to your bank, like Wells Fargo, you might have Wells Fargo, Bank of America, U.S. Bank, one of them. You rolled to your bank and you said, "Hey, man, I need $50." And they said, "I'm sorry, sir, you don't have no money in your account." And you're sitting there like, what? You must have the wrong person's account here. What are you talking about? And when they start saying something crazy, like for my case, one of them, when they said, "Oh, yeah, you and somebody else have the same account number, and it looks like you took money out 50 miles away." I'd love to see how calm you're going to be when your account's zero. Yeah, you ain't gonna be too calm, I don't think, sitting there listening to some BS. And guess what else? That's when you find out the banking system that you gave them your money. When you signed your papers to open up an account at that bank, it's their money now, not yours. That's another thing. That's a whole nother story. So, what makes you think a place in Mexico won't take your money? Because they haven't, and people in America have. What don't you get? 5 times, not one, not two, not three. 5 U.S. banks regulated. And only the SNL is a small one. The other ones are U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and another regional bank had the brokerage. Lawsuit status. It's much safer to just use a cold storage wallet like Ledger. No, I don't want a cold storage wallet like Ledger because I want to be able to use the funds. Actually, I'm doing it differently, right? I'm not like storing anything. What I'm doing is I'm putting it there so I can use it because the card has a Visa, well, MasterCard feature, debit card feature. And I'm going to have other plans along the way. So, I have friends and family. Just saying. Uh, and also, I might as well just tell you trust. So, you do understand. Because you're financially literate. So, let's say you have a trust. Let's say money sitting in Mexico for all intents and purposes on a card. Everybody in the fam, that's beneficiaries, heirs, they also have a card. That one card is not on anything in USA. That also means once the money is uploaded to the card, the money can be dispersed to everybody to their card, and they just go down and swipe, withdraw at the ATM, go buy whatever the hell. Again, I have other things going on. That's all. Oh, yeah, I have other things going on. What's good, man? The Truth Trail. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he says, "What's good, man? I'm out of USOR. Got profits. It was a hustle play. I know it. I know it. I tried to tell you. I'm glad you got out. They crashed it, and I got out of USCR. I'm in VDR2 coin. Same tick. LOV, lots of love. VDR at 0030. I get in at 004. It's okay. Congratulations, man. I'm glad you took your, what was that crazy? 1,000, 3,000, 4,000% profit, something like that, right? Okay. Yeah. So I love it, man. I love it. I'm glad you didn't stay in there waiting like them other people that when it went that parabolic up to whatever it was, and people still didn't on the down coming down, didn't get rid of it and waited till it went all the way below what it actually started at, and then waited another day or two, and then it kind of crept back up. But man, big time. You could have had like, was it 7 cents or 6.5 instead of 3 cents. Man, that's a big dip, big difference, especially when you have thousands of coins. But happy to for you, man. Congratulations. All right, VDR. Let's go. VDR. Coin, no, crypto. Oh, you like hitting up these yeah, okay, I can get with the new mem thing. It's at 0.002 right now. Is this something called Vodra? Yeah, it's at 0.0029, down 3.4%. Hey, speaking of that, Trill, what are you using to buy? Are you using the Dex? Because they got a Dex. It's VDRs. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I got to wrap this. And what is that? Point zero, oh, higher than that even. Okay, 0.005. And now it's back down to 0.0029. Whereas that's where it started. And in fact, it went down to 0.0026, but it's only back up to where it started. So if, well, the best you could have done is 0.005. And now it's over. At least it looks like it's over. This is, wait, it came out today? Did this come out? This says, oh, hold on. Let me see something. Where's this came out today, the 2nd of Feb. So it already, at 6 a.m. in the morning, it hit its peak. And then by 9 o'clock, 9:30 ish, it's back to where it started, 0.00. Then it went back up again, but only up to 3.0037. And then it hung there for about an hour. Then, of course, it dropped off a cliff because now there's no more buyers. There was no sustainable upside. So you're going to stay in this, or you're going to cash out and just get your money back. It just went up to 0.003 right now. Or do you think there's going to be another uptick? Let me know. Let me know. 4G's profit. That's all I missed. That 15K. Remember, I know, man. Congratulations. Okay, so different objectives. I trust U.S. government more than any other. I know. And I'd rather use Ledger to store money. I hear you. It can be handed over to family completely controlled by me. Exactly. Yeah, you got it exactly right. That's the theory. So, like I said, I just don't trust the U.S. government because, like I said, I've been involved with them um, on some shady stuff that now people see. You can see on full display what a government can do if they target you or want to mess with you. And there's no social media, right? Just think about if there was no social media right now, what it would look like. You would hear stories. You'd be saying, hey, my cousin got kidnapped. You'd be like, why? By ICE. He's a U.S. citizen. What are you talking about? You would not believe them. The government doesn't do that. That's what people would be saying if there was no social media, right? They'd be saying, no, there's no way that somebody stole there's no way Wells Fargo took money out of people's accounts and opened up new accounts and put money out over there. They would say, no, that couldn't have happened. What are you talking about right now? We would have heard about it in the news. You'd be like, you'd be just like everybody else. You're just like, okay, it doesn't happen until it happens to you. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, damn, this really is going down. This really is messed up. And you're thinking it's just a simple problem, right? That's what you would think. Just like if you're missing money out of your account, you call up and you're saying, "Hey, I don't remember charging like this $400. I don't know where." And they're like, "Yeah, somebody in Memphis, Tennessee, they charged something." What? I'm not in Memphis. Why didn't it trigger a report? Right? That's what happened with the wife. You know, they're like, "What? What? Aren't you? Are you in Memphis right now?" She's like, "What? No. In fact, I just used my card 5 minutes ago at the grocery store in Sacramento." And they're like, "Yeah, but it just shows 5 minutes ago you just used the card in Memphis. You say you're in California?" I just used a card at the grocery store 5 minutes ago. What are you talking about right now? But see, this is this era. Simple. They said, "Oh, this is obviously fraud." Of course, you can't be in two places at one time, especially when you're talking about almost 3,000 miles apart. But, you know, this is the situation. And oh, by the way, I had a situation. Somebody had access to my account, somehow had cloned my card. You know what these people were doing? They were just going, taking out like $25, going to the gas station, $20, $15, just little charges. So I never paid no attention because I don't even, quite frankly, even check my stuff. Except this one day, I was sitting there and I'm like, wait, I wasn't in Texas like last week. What the hell's going on? And these people were doing this for a year and a half. No flags from the banks or the bank. No flag. I said, "How's this possible? Because you guys have an algorithm that would be like," but because I go all over the place, it didn't flag these small amounts. Ended up being nothing real major, but it still ended up being over like $1,000, $1,100, somewhere in between there. And they were doing it for a year and a half, which is funny. It was like the most was $25. Everything was like 25, 20, 15, 18, just little stuff. So if you open up your account, you don't really notice $15 or $20 missing. You're just like, well, I probably charged something. So it's pending. So you don't even pay attention. Well, I don't. I don't even pay attention like that. And so then the lady, I'm on the phone and she's like, with the bank, and she's just like, "Hey, let me go back and check because this is weird." And sure enough, she goes, "Oh, this is a year and a half." At first, they were going to say, "I'm sorry. They have a rule about how long it could have happened or something." And then she says, "Hold on. Let me go talk with my management supervisors because I think I need them to override or something because it's obvious because you're having charges in two different locations within an hour, and we know you can't be in Southern California, Northern California. You can't be at the same within an hour or two, even if you got on a plane. So that's obvious. You're not going to be in Georgia or Florida or DR while you show some charges, and then there's charges in the USA. Obviously, you're not flying back and forth to DR to do charges and then fly back." It's like, so they were sensible about it, but at least she went and talked to the whoever, and they said, "We'll go back that far." Because normally I think there's a cutoff. And I would have never found out, quite frankly, ever. Crazy, ever. Check out toxic candy. What? Are you serious right now? Okay, we got the. I don't see the toxic candy. Hold on. Oh no. We got something else though. We got a multivitamin. Oh, by the way, you guys shouldn't be taking multivitamins. Just saying. The doctors all say take multivitamins. Don't do it. Just get some other. Just go with natural stuff that you can get. Oh man, here we go. Mind, body, green. Okay. There you go. Death. This is insane. I told you guys, you're the mark. Again, health is wealth. You're the mark. You're going to be paying for your health care all because of these dumbasses, and our government allows them to do this. Pharmaceutical industry to do this. It's just absurd. All right, I don't see the. I need that other one. Contract with Uplift. Okay. Oh, there. Oh, the candy toxins. Yeah. Good God Almighty. Okay. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this just keeps going. I told you every freaking live stream we're going to have the recalls because recalls are going to continue to happen because you have a government that has laid off most of these federal agencies employees or fired them, and they don't care about regulation. They deregulate the industry. So now you're on your own. And the pharmaceutical companies are able to introduce drugs into the system that should not be in a human body system. And now you don't have people running around manufacturing facilities. You don't have inspectors showing up. You don't have people showing up. So now people are doing what they do. Drug dealers. You know what I always say, the pharmaceutical industry is still drug dealers, no matter how you slice it. Yeah, exposing candy toxins. It's Black Forest, ladies and gentlemen. Arsenic. Oh my God. Laffy Taffy. Are you kidding me? That banana taffy that used to be at the movies? Arsenic. Nerds. Strawberry. Nerds grape. Laffy Taffy banana. All those. Arsenic. Sweethearts. Arsenic. Sweet tarts. Arsenic. Trolley. Oh no. Oh, okay. I was gonna say Hershey's milk chocolate was on the list, but it doesn't have anything for arsenic and nothing else. Okay, I was getting worried. Oh wait, the Hershey's white chocolate, Hershey's cookies and cream, arsenic. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, you have this in your cupboard right now. I know you guys. I know you do. Somebody's gonna have some of this in your cupboards. There's the link right there. There's the link right there. Crazy, 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 crazy. Oh man, yeah, that's it. Okay. I put a link for the toxic candy. This is crazy. And the other one is 14 cents. I use Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet's cool. And the other one, 14 cents. How did that happen? Okay. VD. Oh, wait, what is that? Oh, I have some other stuff. VDR came out in 2021. The other came out January 29th. Oh, there's a. Wow. I'm staying in. Really? At 0.003? The True Triller. Thank you so much, man, for another donation. I humbly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Money, mouth, face. EV Place. Good evening. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Speaking of volatility, that's right, the stock market meme continues. Good evening. Have you seen PLTY after hours? No, I haven't, but I know it went up, right? Let me go look. I'm pretty sure it went up because of the announcement, the meme situation, the announcement. Uh-oh, wait, that better not be. Okay, it wasn't. Oh no, what the? Oh, after hours, it shot up to, oh, it dropped all the way to 40, 41, shot back up to 45, but now it's back down to 40. What is that? It's back down to 41, man. Dang. So the MIM situation continues to happen. DIM pals, were you in the after hours taking care of some biz? Because this shot up from 41 to 45. or 44.30. Then it hovered at 44.50 and then seemingly shot straight back down to 41.38 after hours between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Money to be made up, money to be made long, down. So, wow, 52-week low, 41.29. That did not happen tonight, but it's at 41.38. Yeah, that we're in that same situation with the yield max. 52-week high, $94.87. Wow. Jeez, that's a big swing. Unfortunately, we know this is how yield max works. They give out so much of the dividends. It's not based on the stock. So the min price situation does matter. Yield max gold miners option income, obviously, they're going to be on top of that. Yield max AMD, Yield max Nvidia is down to $14.26. Wow. Yeah, the yield max days of being level. This volatility is, first of all, the volatility is not good for yield max ETFs, or shall I say, the increase in prices is not good for yield max ETF because in this case, it's inverted. So when the price of the actual like Pelletier and all that rises real fast, you don't want that. You want gradual, very gradual. Just saying. I noticed that on the other side. I think if it goes goes a bear down, a bear market tends to kind of help yield max ETFs. PLT wise, dividends sustainable. Decrease payouts and cause capital loss, making it a high risk, high reward. Yep, it is high risk, high reward. That's what we were talking about before. But that's why I had to start saying, you guys need to make sure you buy in at the right price. Yes, I can see after hours, man. That was crazy. That was crazy. They trying to charge me $604 a month for healthcare. I ain't paying that now. That's what I'm trying to say, man. Welcome to the GOP way. This is not sustainable. $600 a month for healthcare. $800 a month, $1,200 a month, $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month. This is not sustainable for families and individuals. That used to be that's more than car payment. Well, now it's not, but back in the day, that's more than a car payment. A house payment used to be less than that. If we're talking about you go back to the 90s, your house payment would have been lower than this. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff what times we live in. And the fact that we're making our U.S. citizens do this, and the fact that you're willing to spend $1 trillion on things that do not help anybody. In fact, it's detrimental to a business when you're rounding up citizens and legal residents and even undocumented. Everybody had a little spot, and then once you remove them off the spot, who replaces them? Nobody. So now there's going to be a breakdown in your fabric, your timeline, your production all breaks down. But then you say, well, we'll put people behind bars. Well, that's not production. You're just taking taxpayers' money. So again, that's not a resolution for anything other than taking taxpayers' money and printing more money so you can make this other infrastructure that produces nothing. That's not a winning formula unless, again, I'm trying to make you sick. I'm trying to make sure me and my 1,000 wealthiest dudes on the planet, plus a few millionaires that come along for the ride, we're going to be happy. And everybody else, good luck. Because we got health care. All right. We got pardons. We got everything. So good luck. You're on your own. Social safety nets, we don't have any money for that. But they got money for a whole bunch of other stuff going down to Venezuela. Got 3 or 4 thousand people running around trying to kidnap people that look brown or black. Got a whole bunch of money for that, but you ain't got no money for Social Security and health care. Because, of course, you don't want to take care of your citizens. Ah, I'm done. I can't go this route. I'm done. I'm only giving you guys, there it is, the toxins with the candy. And you guys already know, we talked about this. You knew this was going to happen. I do cookies and cream ice cream. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you're not doing that cookies and cream, whatever that was, candy, Laffy Taffy or whatever it was. I don't know. But I'm a start getting my food from Sprouts and Natural Grocery. You're going to have to. And then you have to hope that their stuff's not tainted. Because the True Trill, let me show you something. Go check this out. Go check this out now. You would think that would be the play, but look at this. There, I just put in the chat room. This is the toxic stuff that's in baby formula that they call themselves organic and natural and all this. I know it's getting bad. I've re-entered at 41, 46 now on Robinhood. Okay, but you're going, man, you're doing high risk, high rewards. I'm telling you, to get that weekly payout, which I know the payout has been tremendous. But again, if you have, let's just say 100, I'll keep it simple, 100 shares, and the 100 shares was what, $4,600, right? And then it dropped to 41. Now you're $4,100, but now the 100 shares only gives you 20 cents, $20, but now you're down to 4,100 versus 4,600. That's $500. You can't make up the $500 unless it goes back up to 46. And that's where the problem starts coming in, especially in this volatile market like it is now. You have to remember, Yomax ETFs, they may not perform well. So that's why I started doing, hey, if I bought in at 41, it goes up to 46. I say, okay, I'm just putting my thing stop loss at 43. Because I'm like, if it hits there, fine. I'll just take my profit because they give weekly payouts. So whatever profit I have, I got my profit from 41, let's say, to 43. So I got $4,200, okay, plus whatever the profit was over the last, whatever, a month or two or whatever. So that's the way I look at it. So like tonight, it would have triggered it, right? But all the profits that I would have received over the last week or two or month, I would kept that everything instead of having to deal with this fluctuation. All right, my Medicare was $7.35 for the last 3 years. Oh man, 604. Jesus, man. Damn, the True Trill. This is not good. I missed something. Hold on. Let me see, EV. Okay, this is what I missed. I'm still up in silver, got in at 67. If it goes down under that, I'll buy more. Yeah, I know that's what people are doing. They're trying, and that now people are offing it, right? They're still trying to off it. It's like, okay, because now that it then dropped, they're like, wait a minute, I bought it 105, 115. Now it's down to, was it 85, 82 it was earlier today. If it drops under 80, that's crazy. And the funny part is there's going to be a lot available, I believe. If it drops to anywhere near 70, I think those are points that people are just going to probably just offload because not everybody's a stacker. Most people were just getting in while the ride was good. Then when they found out they couldn't sell it, then they were like, oh man, dang, I can't even get rid of this stuff. I won't be buying it again. Banks look at it differently because they're storing it. The banks are not you. Okay. Nail, nail them stores don't play around. I've been going there for years. It's all real. They don't have the same products as the regular stores, believe me. Yeah, I know. I've been to Sprouts and all them guys too. PLTR released their Q4 today. Check it out. Yeah, it was great. That's why the stock popped. And you should have a little PLTR yourself, anyhow. If silver falls to 50 and under, I'll buy, but I doubt it goes down past 67. No, I think it's a falling knife at this point. So let me ask you guys something. This is just for the truth trill since we're talking about this, but for everybody that's here. This is a human nature thing. If I had something that I invested in, we'll just use the stock market because that's easy. And I bought something at $67. Then it goes all the way up to 115, 116. And you say, that's enough profit for me. I want to sell it. And if they say, we're not taking your order, you can't sell this. Okay. And as you watch it go to 115, 110, 100, 100, 90, 80, 60. Do you really think people are going to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to buy some more? Because now there's no end game. You would have had to sell now at whatever somebody's going to buy it if they were going to buy it at 90 or 100 or 75. You don't know. So that whole way down that you wanted to sell it, all of a sudden you find out, man, I can't sell this stuff when the price went up. That's why I believe the opposite. I think it has potential to, if it starts going down to a certain level, then I think it may go back to its original, almost near its original, because people realized that short little spike that they couldn't off this stuff. All the gold guys, they couldn't off their stuff for the 5,000, 5,400 price. People were like, no, I don't know. That's too risky for me because if it drops, which is the same thing with silver, if it drops, I'm holding the bag at 115. If it drops, I'm holding the bag for gold at 5,500. And the coin guys made a wise choice as a business owner. They said, nah, man, I'm not going to give you, I don't even care if I keep 20%. I'm not doing it. I think it's too risky because if it drops, which is what happened now, 4,600 from 5,500, 4,700 it might went up to, I think it did. But still, nobody's going to buy it from you. And again, this proves the point that I always said about gold and silver. I told people, I said, if there's ever a crash and you have gold and silver, just like I told the people when Venezuela crashed, I said, well, go down to Venezuela. Remember, you said you're going to be able to buy up all these apartments and businesses with just your little gold and silver stuff. Go on. And I don't know how you're going to carry it, but you're not going to be taking a commercial flight, I trust. Right? I'm like, so I'm like, all this stuff that people have fanciful thoughts about what they can do, it doesn't come to fruition because the real situation is people prey on a capitalist system for what time it is now. It's not this stuff that you get to say, well, it's stuff's going to happen later. And so therefore I'll be good. Just like right now, stuff happened later, the price shot up, and then you couldn't sell it because people were afraid to be holding the bag. They want you to hold the bag. Now, a lot of people are going to be happy because they bought at a lower price, but once it gets to a certain number, it's going to keep falling. And I don't know what that number is. I don't have the charts up, but it's been dropping. So people have been taking advantage on the stock markets up and down. It's been doing its thing. So that's why you should be in the trading at this point, I believe. So like MDA, EV, post retirement travel, True Trill, all the guys that's doing options, DI and Pals, all the guys doing options or trading and things like this, they have potential to make much more money by just trading because of the market is not even it's similar to kind of knowing which direction certain things are going to move, and so that gives you an advantage instead of it's no guesswork in reality. And so I believe, you know what, let me go pull this up right now. Let me go look. I'll just go look if I can pull. This might cause a problem because I'm about to use some resources. All right, stop loss at 44. Good. Those ETFs are designed to go down in share price. Why use a stop loss? Why not just add put options to keep your equity up and benefit from the dividends? That's probably very good advice. Again, the only reason I say probably because I don't know how to do put options. And people who do, I'm sure that's a good advice because it sounds good to me. If you know how to do options, keep your equity up and benefit from the dividends. Interesting. Interesting. Well, MDA, you just gave somebody some valuable information to think about because wouldn't that almost be like a hedge or not even at all? You could just be doing what you said. Just add put options to keep your equity up and benefit from the dividends. Interesting. Okay. One of these days I'll get to that, but I'm not that good at trading yet. All right. Just because I had one good day. Okay. Um, that's fine. But one good day doesn't make a lifetime, right? Because I had other bad days, but the one good day was, pretty awesome. And that's the beauty of this volatile market. It's crazy. It's at 4,800 now. Jesus, man, I made two times around 16% on PLTY third round. Okay, you're doing it right. Whatever you're doing, MDA, I will check it out. Thanks. Exactly. It jumped up. Check it out, man. VDR at 0.34. Yeah, it was at 0.29 as I was talking. Then it went to 0.030. And now it's at 0.34. So people are waking up somewhere and buying it. But again, I mean, after it dropped that far, that fast, man, I don't see how it comes back. That's crazy. I have 313,000 of VDR, the one at 0.034. Wow. It's nothing to it. Just buy them a year out and buy one contract for every 100 shares you own. You don't even need a chart to do that. You know it's dropping. That's very true. We know it's dropping. You got that right. Okay. So where do you hold on? There is something on Moo. I saw contracts one time. I'll check that out another time. I got to run, ladies and gentlemen. Anyhow, it's been very nice to speak with you all this evening. 2 hours and 43 minutes. I didn't think I was going to be on this long. So, again, I get into it, but you know how it goes. All right, we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for being here once again. I love you guys very much. I appreciate your input and insight and helping other people out. That's the beauty of this Stop Struggling Now, the SSN Nation, is that we have other investors here and they have ideas that can help a lot of people. So that's why you don't want to miss these live streams. I know the 2 hours and 43 minutes is a long time to watch, but hey, you can watch it on replay. Don't have to always watch the whole thing. You could say, okay, I don't like this topic, and you can put in something that you want to discuss, right? And again, thank you, the True Trill, for the donation. As you know, I humbly appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know, and you know, it's only going to get harder out here, but there are solutions. Hopefully, you got a few solutions tonight that can help you out, something to think about. But don't forget, there's a lot of people under stress and duress. So make sure that you stay calm under all circumstances and try to stay calm. I know people are out here wilding out, but the point is, you need to stay calm because you have another day that you need for success. So, with all that said, no matter what you do, keep your head up Keep moving. And I'm out.